of our other writers, Amy Anyobi, was talking about, like, I was listening to one of her interviews, and she was like, we have a tendency to try to, like, when we network up, and it really is about networking across, like, who's next to you, who's struggling, who's in the trenches with you, who's just as hungry as you are, and those are the people that you need to build with. It's not about, like, finding, hitting up, like, calling Tyler Perry, like, how can I work with you, calling Ava to be like, how can I be on? It's about calling your college mate. It's about calling your coworker and saying, hey, you trying to do this? I'm trying to do this project. And literally every project that I've done, every friend of mine has been in some way, shape, or form because I needed them, because they were just down. They didn't, they're not even part of the industry in many cases, just to help me make it work. And I would do the same for them in a heartbeat. It's just about, I guess, passion and hunger.
Do you think that made you even more creative? Because not only were you trying to do the work, but you're trying to convince folks and you're trying to see, well, how can you fit in? How can you fit in? How can you? Because at the end of the day, you're trying to actually take this idea and bring it to life.
I think about that frequently. I was just thinking about that this morning, actually. Just in creating the first episode of ABG, of Awkward Black Girl, like, I had to pull so many resources together, and I had to hit up, a couple of random people, just to try to put this story together. And then even in the brokenness of not having an editor and editing it myself, trying to tell the story because I couldn't afford to get this shot that I wanted or go to this location that I wanted, and piecing that together, there's so much creativity in brokenness. Like, brokenness will have you making it work. And there's an essence there that I'm wondering if
it's like growing up and there's a bunch of people in the house and there's one chicken.
Yes.
And it's like,
so you're gonna make a chicken skin sandwich.
It's like
you're gonna make a tortilla soup of chicken. Like, you gotta make it work.
You gotta figure out, okay, I gotta eat. Mm-hmm. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with all this to make it. And that's why I raised the question about the level of creativity.
Yeah.
Because that's what you have to do. It's lit. As I sit here, I can imagine you going through one of these projects, and it's kind of like, okay, we don't have quite the industry lights. So let's see what brings us close.
I'm gonna put this lamp in your face, this kitchen lamp, and we're gonna make it work. But there's something like magical about that, there's an essence there that I don't want to lose. But, that happens naturally. Then it's just about finding what else in your environment. I mean, it's twofold. I think about finding what else in your environment that still reflects your essence, and then continuing to maintain people around you who are still grounded and who are still in touch, and just that you gotta hold on to that broken energy, because I love making relatable stuff, and so much of that stuff is it makes you relatable. It makes you people feel like they're connected to the story.
Well, let's go back to Awkward Black Girl, because it's one of those concepts where if someone hears it, they go, oh, I'm sorry, what do you mean? And I understand that, these folks exist. Mm-hmm. And so was that one of the things that also was surprising when you were saying, okay, this is who I am? Oh, it's a whole bunch of y'all out here.
Yes. And that was rewarding, because when I was like, I can't be the only one that thinks like this, that feels like this. And then to put it out and get, like, the first episode, the first day, people sending me letters like, girl, that's what I am, and I didn't know. And I think about it because someone told me when normally I don't tell people about the projects that I want to do, because I don't want to, some people have a tendency to be like, you should do this, or discourage you from doing it,
right.
And I would get in my own head. And I remember telling someone I was thinking about doing a project called Awkward Black Girl, and he was like, why you gotta put the black in it? You should just call it Awkward Girl. And I was like, but that's, like, the black part is what makes it special. Like,
right.
We don't get to be those characters. And I'm so glad that I did, because that is in and of itself an identity that we're not allowed to have, or we weren't previously allowed to have. And people didn't know about us, so we came out the woodwork, we came out the closet.
Was this what you always wanted to do, or did you kind of fall into this thing and just, okay, I can do this?
That, I wanted to be a writer. I knew that. I wanted to direct.
I want to be a writer. You wanted to be a television writer?
Yeah.
Or do you want to be a book writer, a novelist? Or
television writer, film. I wanted to be a screenwriter.
So when did you know you wanted to do that? What age?
When I moved to LA at 11. When I moved back to LA, I went to a Moesha live taping, and they gave me the script. And prior to that, I've been writing, like, short stories, little plays, and things like that. But being on the set
So you go to the show.
Seeing how that worked, I won like a script,
Right.
The teleplay of it, and I remember just like, oh my God, I got the formula in my hands. Like I could write television shows just by using this as a template, and wrote an original teleplay and then a spec screen, a teleplay for Cosby, like the new version. I was 11, and my grandma helped me copyright it, by sending it to yourself in the mail and let me use her computer.
Which don't work.
It does not work.
That whole idea of no. Here is the really cheap way to do a copyright. Yeah.
But I had so many, and wasn't nobody trying to steal my idea or script. But like I remember her helping me to find the addresses. I sent it to CBS. I sent it to NBC. And I wanted to, it was unsolicited, and they were kind enough to write me back and be like, girl, no, we don't, calm down. We don't take unsolicited scripts. And so then I fell back on it and just continued school, still kept doing plays. And then when I was 16, I saw Love and Basketball, and I was like, oh my God, I want to go back into, I want to write films. Mm-hmm. And Gina Prince Bythewood is a huge inspiration for me. Mm-hmm. And that's when I felt like, I ended up writing a script, my first film script after watching that movie and hitting her up. And she wrote me back, and encouraged me in a letter that I've still kept to this day.
Weekdays on TV One.
I will never lie to you.
Oh my God.
Roland Martin.
He doesn't want to talk to us. He wants to ignore us.
Uncensored.
Hell no.
That ain't gonna cut it, boo.
Unapologetic.
No, that is fundamentally false. You are wrong.
Unfiltered.
He wants an America where we all look alike. He ain't talking about black people.
Unrelenting.
You better go work out, because you got a fight on your hands.
NewsOne Now with Roland Martin. Weekdays at 7 a.m. on TV One.